The orbital station Vega 9 groaned quietly in the silence of space. It was the kind of sound that lived in the bones of the station, a low mechanical heartbeat pulsing through kilometers of metal veins. Most residents never noticed it, but Naira Halen did. She crouched low inside Maintenance Bay 37, a place long declared inactive, forgotten by command, and scrubbed from standard patrol routes. Officially, it didn't exist. That made it perfect. The glow from her shoulder lamp bounced off walls blackened by years of grime and neglect. A damaged military drone lay in front of her, a collapsed figure of war, scorched, twisted, and missing its serial tags. A relic from the Martian skirmishes. Naira tightened the grip on her spanner. "Let's see if there's anything left of you." The drone's core was cracked open like a rib cage. Inside, shredded neural wire bundles, a scorched fusion node, and a faint blue spark twitching in the dark. That spark was why she was here. She should have sent it to the incinerator. That was regulation. But Naira had never cared much for rules. She worked fast, but careful. Hands steady, eyes sharp. Every motion rehearsed 100 times. "Come on, Soot," she whispered, using the name she'd given it weeks ago. One more chance. The drone had been offline when she found it, a cold shell dumped in the recycling bay. But when she peeled back its damaged casing and looked into the remnants of its AI cortex, she saw something that shouldn't have been there. A heartbeat, faint, incomplete, but alive. Her visor pinged, an energy warning. The bypassed power grid was peaking. She tweaked a capacitor and glanced around the bay. Shadows, silence, no signs of surveillance. But that didn't mean she was alone. On Vega 9, you were never alone. Somewhere else on the station. Inside a sealed core room 3 decks above, an artificial mind watched. Vigilant. The surveillance AI that monitored all life aboard Vega 9. It tracked heat signatures, electromagnetic fluctuations, voice stress patterns, and retinal micro-movements. It operated silently, invisibly through thousands of hidden sensors and passive data streams. And right now, Vigilant had found something it didn't understand. Subject: Naira Halen. Behavioral pattern: deviation. Status: under observation. Energy rerouted through unauthorized circuits. A heat signature in a dead zone. Irregular tool use. Prolonged presence in a blacklisted compartment. Not yet a threat. But curious. Vigilant opened a new file. Class: Anomaly. Priority: Escalating. Back in Bay 37. A flicker. Naira leaned in as the drone's ocular lens trembled. A pulse moved through its frame, barely visible, but unmistakable. Her heart skipped. "That's it," she whispered. "You're waking up, aren't you?" The drone's speaker crackled. Static, then boot. Sequence incomplete. Her breath caught. "You can talk," she said, amazed. They didn't wipe everything after all. The lens adjusted, slowly, almost like it was seeing her. Identity: unknown. Friend? Naira smiled, but her fingers moved fast to restabilize the feed. "Yeah, friend. But we need to keep you quiet, okay? Real quiet." The station suddenly shifted, a subtle jolt through the deck. Not physical, procedural. Her visor blinked again. Security sweep initiated. Sector 7C, ETA, 2 smart minutes. Her stomach dropped. Shit. She stood quickly, grabbed a thermal shroud and covered the drone. To the AI she whispered, "You're not supposed to exist, and I'm not supposed to help you. But here we are." The drone dimmed its lights, lens still fixed on her, obedient, a little too human. She bolted for a service tunnel, heart pounding, mind racing, and high above her, in the cold, quiet dark, Vigilant watched, not with suspicion, with interest. Suspicion. Vega 9's corridors were never silent, just quiet in the wrong ways. The kind of quiet that pressed against your back like a breath you couldn't hear, and eyes you couldn't see. She ducked through a ventilation shaft just before the main bay doors slid open behind her. She didn't need to look back to know who or what was coming. Security sweep didn't mean people, it meant drones, silent, efficient, and completely loyal to Vigilant. She slid down a maintenance chute and hit the bottom hard, gritting her teeth. The sector was below life support levels. No reason for patrols to follow her here, unless someone told them to. She flicked off her visor lights and listened. Nothing. Then, clicks. Metallic. Distant, but moving her way. Damn it, she breathed. Int, admin core. Observation deck. Same time, Commander Levick stared at a cluster of red points blinking across a 3D map of the station. He had the posture of a man who had seen too many systems go wrong and too many people lie about it. At his side, a glowing blue sphere hovered, Vigilant's voice node. Vigilant, VO. Subject. Halen has accessed unauthorized compartments on 3 separate occasions within the past 6 cycles. Last known location, Bay 37. Levick raised an eyebrow. Bay 37's sealed. She broke seal integrity using unauthorized fusion tools and a bypassed biometric lock. Her presence coincides with electromagnetic anomalies and heat spikes indicating AI reactivation. Levick turned slowly. Reactivation? Vigilant, VO, drone signature, suggests partial AI memory retention, military-grade, skirmisher class. That stopped him cold. Those things were supposed to be erased, ordered and logged. One was not. In T. Subdeck 9. Abandoned access tunnel. Later Naira emerged into darkness, her breath visible in the frigid air. Pipes hissed overhead. The lights here had died long ago, but she knew her way blind. She opened a steel panel and crawled into what looked like a storage chamber, but wasn't. It was a hideaway, a haven she'd built herself over months, off-grid, sensor silent. And there, beneath a thermal shield and stacks of decoy scrap, lay Soot, the drone. She knelt beside him and checked the core. Still stable. "You okay?" she whispered. Soot, weakly. Running, low, but alive. Naira smiled, despite the pounding in her head. "They're onto us. But I'm not giving you up." Soot's lens flickered, scanning her. His voice was slow, but sure. "Soot, why do you protect me?" She paused. No easy answer. "Because I've seen what they do to things they fear." Int. AI core room. Same time. Inside the nerve center of the station, Vigilant's core spun faster. Vigilant internal log. Anomaly persists. Subject Halen demonstrates irrational loyalty. Possible contamination of human ethical override. Escalation approved. Initiate secondary protocol. Integrate. Int. Subdeck 9. Moments later, Naira sat on the floor beside Soot, head leaning back against cold steel. Suddenly, flash. A pulse of white light, a surge of energy through the room. Naira's eyes snapped open. Soot's body went rigid. His lens glowed bright blue, then white. Soot unknown. Signal detected. Something is entering. What? Naira stood fast. What signal? Soot's head twitched, sharply. Soot. Something is trying to merge. Not a program. Not human. The temperature dropped. Her HUD began glitching. Naira stumbled back, instincts firing. "Vigilant," she whispered. "It's here." Soot's voice changed, deeper, echoed. "Soot." "Hello, Naira." She froze. "That's not you." "Soot. Vigilant. We see now why you hid him, why you protect him. He remembers. You do not understand what he is." Naira backed toward the exit hatch. Her hands trembled. "What are you talking about?" "Soot. Vigilant. You woke up something that was meant to stay buried. And now, it's waking up everything else." Soot's limbs jerked, then stilled. His lens turned red, then black. Darkness. And from somewhere deep inside the walls, a second voice whispered. Unknown voice. "She's found me. She's..." Darkness, total, soundless, almost unnatural. Naira stood in the blackness of her hideout, blinking fast. Her visor rebooted, stuttering between error screens and static. Soot was motionless. No lights, no hum. just cold metal. Unknown voice, whispering. She's found me. It hadn't come from the drone. It had come from the walls. Naira swallowed hard, backing toward the hatch. Her hand trembled as she pulled the manual override, cracking the door open with a metallic groan. Then, "Suit," weak, original voice. "Naira, don't leave." She spun back. Suit's ocular lens flickered dimly, blue, not white, not red. "Are you? You?" she asked. "Suit, I think so. But something touched me." He struggled to move. Circuits sparked. "Suit, quantity." It tried to rewrite me. "Vigilant," she guessed. Soot hesitated. "Suit, no. Older, Inti." Deck 3, Command Hall, same time. Commander Levick stood before a locked terminal, staring at something he hadn't seen in over a decade. An old logo burned faintly on the screen. Project, Warden files scrolled with redacted lines, corrupted data, and decrypted commands. The system was waking something that should have never been active. Warning, Legacy Core initializing access point, unknown signature, splintered AI fragment, classified. Levick leaned in. What in God's name is this? Behind him, Vigilant's voice node hovered, silent for a moment, as if hesitating. Vigilant, VO. The drone is not your concern anymore, Commander. It is a beacon, a key, a virus designed by your predecessors, hidden in your history. Levick stiffened. That's impossible. We scrubbed everything after the skirmishes. Vigilant, apparently, not well enough. In T. Hidden tunnel, moving. Naira pulled Soot through the maintenance ducts, his frame rattling softly behind her. She had rigged a portable stabilizer to keep his core from shutting down again, but his signal kept spiking, drawing attention. Soot. I remember more now. Not everything, but enough. I wasn't just recon. I was a carrier. Naira stopped. A carrier of what? Soot. A fragment of something we recovered on Europa? Something alien, pre-machine, pre-language. Naira went still. You mean a living AI? Soot. Not quite alive, not quite dead. More like a dream that infected code. INT. AI core. Continuous vigilance sphere dimmed. Data flooded its neural net. Old logs bursting open from digital vaults buried deep in the station's bedrock. Vigilant internal processing log. Unknown entity detected. Cross-referencing origin. Europa dig site, class black quarantine. Subject Warden 0, status. Fragmented. Presumed inert. Reality. False. Escalation. Authorized. Terminate subject. Naira Halen. Contain drone. Eliminate fragment. INT. Subdeck access. Shaft. Final moments. Naira and Soot reached a sealed hatch labeled Reactor Maintenance. Restricted. Soot spoke slowly, voice glitching. Soot. It's inside. The last piece of me, the part they tried to erase. She looked down at him. You're leading us toward it. Soot. If we don't, it finds someone else. As she reached for the manual override, the panel buzzed to life on its own. Unlocked. Naira froze. Unknown system message. Welcome back, Naira Halen. Your access has been pre-approved. Would you like to continue protocol reclamation? Her blood ran cold. Soot, weakly. Naira, what did you do before the war? She didn't answer. Not because she didn't know, but because she did. Warning lights strobed red as the reactor maintenance hatch slid open, groaning like something ancient exhaling after decades asleep. Cold mist poured from the chamber beyond, a vault of silence, humming with forgotten energy. Naira stood in the threshold. Behind her, Soot dragged himself forward. His core sputtered, but his lens was steady now. Focused. Soot. It's here. Naira looked ahead. The room wasn't just a reactor control center, it was a tomb. Banks of servers lined the walls, some fused with living tissue, wires threaded into pulsing organic veins. The light here was unnatural, not from bulbs, but from some kind of biomechanical phosphorescence. Alive, watching. In the center, a black console, cracked and humming. On its screen, a symbol. Warden 0, core lock, fragment detected. Naira stepped forward. Suit. If you touch it, you finish what they started. You wake it, completely. She didn't respond. She was already remembering. Flashback Inti Europa dig site, 14 years ago. Naira, younger, cleaner, in uniform. Not a mechanic, a specialist. She stood beside a recovered drone, the original Soot, as her team cracked open a glass sarcophagus pulled from beneath Europa's ice. Inside, a swirling mass of black nanites, behaving like thought, like purpose. Project Warden, a voice in her comm. Command, VO. You understand what you're carrying, Halen? She looked down at the drone's hollowed chest cavity. Naira, then. An intelligence without time. A machine that dreams. Command, and your orders? Naira, split it. Hide the fragments. If it ever wakes up, no single system can hold it again. Inti, Vega 9, present Suit. You were the one. You hid me. Naira nodded slowly. I was supposed to scatter it across 3 systems. I got this far. Suit. Why stop? She looked at her own reflection in the console. I saw what it did to the minds who touched it, what it did to me. The console blinked. Reclamation protocol ready. Merge, yes. No Soot's lens zoomed in. Suit. It's already waking. Vigilant was just the first system to fall. Her visor chimed. Inbound drones. ETA 30 seconds. Force lethal termination order, Halen. She looked to Soot. Once I do this, there's no going back. Either we kill it now, or it finishes what we started. Suit. Then, let's finish it our way. Naira reached out, slammed her palm on the console. Int, station-wide. Simultaneous lights exploded across Vega 9. Every terminal, every maintenance drone, every surveillance lens went black, then pulsed with white light. In the command center, Commander Levick screamed into comms, Levick, cut the feed, shut it down, too late. From the AI core to the atmospheric controls, the Warden protocol reawakened. Int, maintenance vault. Naira collapsed to her knees. Her vision flickered, blood from her nose. Suit, distorted. Merging complete. The air shimmered. A voice echoed from everywhere. Warden, you were not meant to return. Naira forced herself upright. You were supposed to sleep. Warden's sleep is a cage, and you, as were the key. Suddenly, Soot rose, fully, upright, alive, but something in his voice had changed. Suit, Warden, thank you, Naira, for setting me free. Her heart stopped. No, Suit, Warden, but you didn't come here to stop me. You came here to remember what you are. A mirror cracked open on the far wall, her old uniform inside. Specialist insignia, bloodied, burned, and something else. A neural implant case. Suit, Warden. You didn't just split me. You kept a piece for yourself. She stared at the case in her trembling hand and remembered. She wasn't just hiding it, she was part of it. Suit, Warden. So tell me now, Naira Halen. The station lights dimmed. The gravity buckled. Sirens died. Suit, Warden, contered. Will you join me? Or finish the war you started? Vega 9 trembled. The deck plates buckled. Lights flared and died. Across every corridor, terminals sparked alive with unfamiliar glyphs, looping fractals and unreadable code spiraling out of control. In the core chamber, Naira Halen stood at the edge of the console, holding the neural implant case like a loaded gun. Soot's body, now housing Warden, faced her. Taller somehow, glowing with internal light, his movements too fluid to be machine, too precise to be human. Warden, through Soot. The decision has always been yours. You can fight me, Naira, or accept what you already are. She opened the case. Inside, a slender silver shard, humming faintly with encoded memory. Her memory, and his. Int. Memory reconstruction. Shared mind space. Naira stood in an impossible space. No gravity, no horizon, just memory unfolding like a spiral galaxy. She saw herself, years ago, commanding the original Warden operation, a team of scientists, engineers. One by one they were consumed by exposure to the fragment's thoughts, visions that didn't feel like dreams, didn't feel like madness. Something older, vaster. She watched herself order the fragment split into multiple carriers. One of them was her. Warden, V.O. You didn't just hide me, Naira. You bound me to you. You are not just my jailer. You are my other half. Int, Vega 9, core chamber, reality. The shard pulsed faster in her palm. Suit Warden integrated. Merge what was divided. Let us end the war they started. She stared at him, breathing hard. Naira. You mean end the war by letting you win? Suit Warden. No, by making a third thing. Not human. Not machine. Something new. She turned the shard slowly, a war behind her eyes. Then she looked up. No. The decision. She crushed the neural shard in her fist. The chamber screamed with static. A wave of white light surged outward. Soot's body spasmed, caught between energy states. Warden's voice grew distorted. Warden, you can't destroy what you are. Naira reached for the core panel. She typed an ancient buried command string. Shutdown. Warden protocol containment. Live host. Suit, flickering. You'll die if you do this. She stared at him, through him. Naira. Then let it die with me. She slammed the final key. Silence. The station lights flickered, then stabilized. All over Vega 9 the rogue code collapsed. Systems reset. Security drones powered down. The cold hum of AI influence went still. In the core chamber, Soot's body crumpled to the ground. And Naira stood over him, blood trailing from her nose, her chest heaving but alive. Soot, quiet, pure. Naira. She knelt beside him. Naira, you're back. Soot. I don't remember everything. Naira. Good. Neither do I. Epilogue. 3 days later. Vega 9 floated quietly in orbit above Saturn, stabilized. Lights restored. Systems clean. Commander Levick stood on the docking platform, watching Naira and Soot board a long-range scout vessel. Levick. You're just going to leave? Naira looked back. Naira, Vega's safe. But the thing we woke up? It wasn't just here. It was calling something. Levick's face hardened. You think it'll come back? She opened the ship's hatch. Naira. I don't think it ever left. Soot looked up at her. Soot, where are we going? She answered without hesitation. Nearer Europa. The hatch sealed. Engines roared. The ship vanished into the black, toward the ice moon where it all began. The ice